Emma, baby, I'm afraid you might be on the wrong couch. Okay? Listen, Love is Blind is back. They're back out there in Ohio, and we definitely got to talk about it. First off, I want to get into Vic and Christine because as of right now, they are the top couple for me.
I'm a professor at one of the universities out here in Columbus.
Are you?
Yeah.
In what?
Specifically in public policy. Pretty much a big focus on like data analytics.
Sounds fun.
It is though. It is.
Until something changes, I'm rocking with Vic and Christine. I really like the vibe that they're giving us for the most part, but I will say that we have not seen enough of them to really say that we don't like certain things about them, right? I'm having high hopes for these two. I feel like it's been a minute since we've seen a successful interracial couple over here on Love is Blind. Y'all let me know your thoughts. The couple that comes to mind for me, and whenever I think of Love is Blind as a whole, I think of Cameron and Lauren. Shout out to them, right? And you know what else is interesting? Cameron's last name is Hamilton. Christine's last name is Hamilton as well. So listen, I'm having high hopes for Christine and Vic because y'all Hamiltons or whatever. And the vibe seems to be very genuine between these two. So I do like it, all right? They seem to have a lot in common, all the way down to the fact that they both got misdemeanors from being caught with Mary Jane. Okay, so they seem to have a lot in common. Now, she does open up about her mom, or at least her parents, at some point during this episode. And she talks about how childhood was much harder than what it needed to be because of her parents, right? And it seems like her mother may still be on that path of causing a ruckus amongst her siblings, and her grandchildren. And she needs therapy, but mama is not trying to go. And I wonder, although Christine adores and loves her mom regardless, I wonder if she's open to letting her mom meet Vic. Is that going to happen? Not sure, but definitely wondering. All right. Now, I did catch an article. I did not read it in its entirety, but it pretty much said that these two decided to skip out on the Mexico trip and more so go on a Malibu trip. So I don't know if we're going to see them later on in the season or if they're going to be skipping Mexico altogether, but it definitely looks like these two are, spoiler alert, engaged. Okay, spoiler alert, and they may be the first engaged couple of the season. All right, so that's that. Next thing I want us to get into is the fact that we have some beautiful Black women that are amongst this cast, but also, as expected, we're not going to see much of them. The sad part about it is the two that they're focusing on right now, which is Kia and Tyler, they're both into the same guy, Kevin. And honestly, I still don't know if his name is Kevin or Kevon. Either way, both of the ladies are interested in him, and I really hate that. It's like, girl, are there no other options there for my ladies? Like, what's really going on? Kevin is at a crossroads because he really likes both of them as well. And what he says to us is that when he sees Kia and when he's with Kia, he can see her being a best friend. But when he's talking to Tyler, Tyler just lights up his world, honey.
Kia's down to earth and just chill. I feel like she could potentially be a best friend. But when I hear Tyler's voice, it makes me excited. Like, yes, this is the date I've been waiting for.
So it's clear to say that he's more interested in Tyler than he is into Kia. And I wonder if at the end of the day, he is going to be able to make a firm decision on which one of the ladies he really wants. And the reason I'm wondering about that is because I feel like a lot of times when we have situations like this, the dude ends up going with his second choice because he done messed up when it came to the first choice. Okay, so we'll have to see how all of that is going to play out. But two things. One, Kia girl, Love and Basketball was really that girl and really that movie at the time that we were watching it. Now that we've grown up, of course, a lot of these movies are corny. Duh. Now, as for you, Tyler, and you being a director, being that is so much going on in this climate and Black women are losing their jobs left and right, I definitely hope that you still have your job at this time as a director. And also, if you are with Kevin or Kevon, I'm hoping that you did not uproot your life and go move over there to where he is if you have a better job than he does. But that's just my thoughts on that. All right. Next, I want to go ahead and talk about Emma because, as I said, Emma is on the wrong couch. I don't know what's going on with Emma. And some parts of me understood Emma, and then other parts, Emma just got on my nerves. Okay. Emma seems to be too uptight.
I used to be self-conscious of my scars on dates. Like, it just was like an elephant in the room that people stared a lot and didn't ask questions, and that was really uncomfortable. So when I'm here, you completely erase all those physical appearances.
Emma, you bothered me because you want so many people to be open with you, but you're hesitating on being open with them. It's not really giving fair. So Emma's first date was with Connor. Connor talks about wanting children. Emma is kind of like, listen, I'm not really sold on that right now, but he doesn't really know the real reason as to why she feels that way. Emma lets us know that she was adopted, and she also was born with a medical condition, right? She has a few birthmarks that can lead to cancer, and she doesn't know if she'll pass that same condition down to her children. And for that, I completely understand how she feels. I get it, right? Connor seems like he's trying to convince her to be okay with wanting kids in the future, and I just don't think that's a good place to go. I don't think you should force it on her at all. I think it should definitely be something that she wants. I would hate for her to resent you, resent herself for not sticking by what it is that she wants and doesn't want for herself. I think that, Connor, you should focus on finding somebody that wants children just as much as you do. But that's just what it is that I think, all right? Her next date is with this guy named Steven, and Steven seems to be quick-witted. Okay, he seems to be silly. He's a jokester, and he seems to be kind of vibing with her for the most part. But she didn't want to talk about her own adoption, which was interesting, but she did want to talk about pets and kids.
Okay.
So she wants Steven to open up more and get deep with her, but she's also afraid to tell him about the deepest parts of her.
Okay.
But she does go on to tell her other date, Mike, that banter is cool, but, it's really surface level here. So basically what I took from that is whatever vibes that I'm thinking she's feeling with Steven, she's really not, because he likes to banter and she's not really interested in that. So it's really giving surface level right now. She does go on to let Mike know that she's afraid of being hurt. And I'm kind of like, well, if you're afraid of being hurt, why did you come on the show? I really don't like when people come on these love shows and then they say they're afraid of being hurt, when that is the entire risk that you take when you fall in love and you're with somebody. That's just what it is. You could be with a person for 10 years and they can fall completely out of love with you. You could be with them for 20 years. Like, it's just what it is, girl. Either you're going to get in there or you're not going to get in there. Which one is it? So she and Steven finally have a talk about her adoption. Because remember, I told you guys she wasn't really opening up. The convo eventually takes a turn when Steven highlights that he can sense that she's withholding something from him. And when he lets her know that, hey, I can kind of tell that you're withholding something from me, she doesn't really like it. She feels like he's trying to figure out something about her appearance. And I don't really think that's what it is. I think he's trying to get you to open up, girl. He may not know the right tactics to do it, but he's just trying to get you to open up. And she is struggling so bad to open up. And he's trying so hard to get her to just spill it out and just let him know what's on your mind. Like, what's up? You can trust me with your feelings. Just talk to me, right? She finally tells him about the birthmark that leads to melanoma and the many surgeries that she had before the age of 7, right? And as she's telling him this, she really is struggling. And he kind of sees that she's struggling, so he lets her know, we don't have to talk about it. I can get you out of this. Let's talk about something else. So he decides to bring up her first kiss and her losing her virginity. I kind of thought that was weird. I'm not going to hold you. Although I don't think that Steven is a bad guy, I don't know if Steven does know how to really be sensitive, right? I think he could have just either let her sit there in silence as she processed her thoughts to get it out, or he could have just told her, okay, hey, listen, I understand, you're not ready to fully talk about it, and we can talk about that tomorrow. We can talk about that another day. How about this? Tell me some of the favorite things that you love to do with your family. He could have said something like that. So the moment between the two was off. It ended up getting ruined. Things ended up going downhill when Steven kept referencing her being a late bloomer as well as him being a late bloomer. And for some reason, that word rubbed her the wrong way. And it appears that she doesn't like that word because it wasn't like it was her desire to be a late bloomer. It was just more so the fact that she was not desired because of her condition, right?
Comment about being a late bloomer. Like, these are comments that kind of rub me the wrong way. And just the interrupting. I think it was...
Okay.
She also goes on to say that he was cutting her off a lot. And he's like, huh? And I also was kind of like, huh? Like, yeah, as she's talking, he may interject and say some things, but I just felt like that was all a part of conversation. But also at the same time, I just don't think these two would have clicked at all like I thought they did in the beginning, because as I really just analyzed the situation, he's kind of like, okay, hurry up, spill it out, spill it out, spill it out. Another thing that I noticed was the fact that Steven is a bit fidgety. Right? So he can't really sit still, whereas she's more calm. He may try to rush her in things. And I just don't think these two would have been a good fit for each other. at all. And I also think that he may have cut her off at times and finished what she was saying because she was taking forever to get to the point. So I don't think that Steven really has the patience for Miss Emma. Okay. She does go ahead and just let him know, listen, I think my other connections are much stronger than the connection that we have together. So I think we're done here. And that's what happened. She decides to return to the girls. And when she returned to the girls, I felt like she didn't really give them the full story of what all happened. It just seemed like to me she was trying to make it seem like, oh, I told him about my condition. And from me telling him about my condition, he kind of made me feel away. And I was kind of like, girl, now you know that's not how that went. Again, you on the wrong couch. Why are you over here sobbing at the table? And then we over here seeing you sobbing on the sofa. It's like, girl, listen, you are on the wrong couch. Okay. I don't think that she is ready to be a part of this show, but it looks like they are going to continue to focus on her as the season progresses. So I hope things get better for Emma, but I'm not really feeling it at this moment. But I don't think it was wrong for Steven and Emma to end their connection. All right. But that's all that I have at this time. I wanted this video to be short, simple, and sweet. You guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below about the first episode of Love is Blind. I'm Jamie, that's me. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.